الصلاة على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد، أحبتي في الله، نعيش مع كتاب الله مع الآية الخامسة والثلاثين من سورة البقرة، مع قوله سبحانه: وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين. This verse number 35 from Surah Al-Baqarah, and a simple meaning for this, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the Exalted said: we caution, O Adam, live with your wife in paradise and eat as freely as you please, but do not approach this tree, or else you will be wrongdoers. وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة. من حيث اللغة، الفاعل يقدر وجوبا مع فعل الأمر. تقول عادة اذهب اشرب كل، لكن لا تقول كل أنت اشرب أنت. فلماذا أظهر الضمير هنا؟ في الحقيقة الضمير هنا ليس هو الفاعل، وإنما هو تأكيد على الفاعل المضمر، وأتي به ليتوصل للعطف. فحتى يحسن الكلام فيقول اسكن وزوجك، أتي بالضمير المؤكد للضمير المحذوف ليتأتى بذلك إلى سهولة العطف. قال اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة. There's something about the structure and actually it's good sometimes to answer those questions that related to Arabic grammar. As some people, they tried with no hope to find mistakes in the Quran. And one of the things, they gather point, they said, oh, look at the grammar mistakes in the Quran. And one of them gathered 30 plus, position in the Quran. Just try to find kind of weakness. Oh, you said that the good structure and special, a structure in the Quran. Why is this and that? They don't know that Quran actually is the reference of the Arabic grammar, and not the way around. Not even the rules of the Arabic that we judge the Quran by. But anyway, it's very good at least to maintain our love to the Quran, and if any of those claims that from time to time we can tackle in a simple way. I know people, they don't know much about grammar, or they didn't love that much about the Arabic grammar. Even those they study in Arabic countries, somehow one of the subjects that most of the students they didn't like, which actually is really important. إن الكلام بلا نحو يقومه نبح الكلاب وأصوات السنانير. That is very important, that to understand Arabic grammar. Why is that? Because the grammar is half of the meaning. عليك بالنحو فإنه السلم لكل علم بيننا يعلم. Wallahi, it's very, very important to master the Quran and Sunnah. One of the first knowledge that you should understand Arabic grammar. Anyway, so here we know as main rule, if there's a command, you don't mention the door if if you are pointing to pronoun. You point to somebody. So if say, so the general speaking, do not mention the door if you are speaking to somebody. So say, uskun, idhab, kul. You do not say, kul Muhammad, ishrab Ali, eat, like, you, and they say like the refer that the pronoun or noun after. So it's omitted, it's understood from the structure. Because you are pointing somebody, you commanding somebody, you directing the word to somebody. So there's no need to mention it. In other words, they said, Al-fa'ilu damirun mustatir. The door, it's a pronoun that is heading. It's understood from the structure. Okay? But here we found Allah said, Uskun anta. Why is that? Uskun anta wa zawjuka al-jannata. We know that specific command to Adam. It's very clear. But why is this? Okay. So why now it's a beer? In fact, it's not a beer. Arabic scholars are really having answer for all of these. So still, the door is not this anta. It's another anta that's not clear. However, this anta to emphasize about the other one. And why we need to emphasize about it? To make it the transit and the connection smooth. When you will add another noun to this verb. So because the following word is not another verb. The following is a noun. So the following word and the verb, there's no need for that. So you adding multiple actions, you say, you do this, that's fine. You mention like multiple. So ishrab, kul, wa kul. But here, you want to add a noun, then you need another noun to make the transit smooth, and that's why. Actually, this is adding not just a strength to the structure of the word, adding beauty, because it goes smooth, And I'm sure maybe if before somebody highlight on this and mention that, said, oh, there's nothing wrong with this, because it sounds nice and smooth. It's not something that, it sounds like, having issue in there. So, uskun anta wa zawjuka al-jannata. الجنة هل هي الجنة الموعودة أم هي بستان في الأرض؟ قيل وقيل. هناك نقاش نعم بين العلماء، لكن في الحقيقة لا أجد طائلا يذكر من وراء هذا النقاش وهذا الجدال. هل يهم مكان تلك الجنة؟ هل هي نفس الجنة التي وعدها المتقون أم جنة أخرى أم هم مكان آخر؟ هل هي هنا أم هي في الهند أم في مكان؟ هل يهم هذا الكلام؟ في الحقيقة عندي ليس ذا أهمية كبيرة، فهذا ليس هو مقصد الحديث. The word Jannah, is it the paradise that the believers are promised, or just a garden in the earth? That's a debatable issue between scholars. But I didn't see any point that even go into that. What's the point? If we know that's the one in the heaven or in the earth, that's in India or in other else. I mean, it's not something that we need actually to spend time in this. Yeah, it's okay. بس علم لا ينفع وجهل لا يضر. If Allah wants us actually to know, He would explain to us. He will give it to us if it's a matter. So again, not something that actually we need even to go into it. And then many of these debates and discussion, you will find it between the scholars in the past. You will find it. And doesn't mean that scholars discuss it. That means, yes, you know what, That's a kind of intellect and good point, you know. There are type of knowledge that you know it, that will never increase any things. Your ignorance will never actually, be regret of that. So there's no much benefit behind that. So always ask about the purpose. Why even I need to discuss this? Is any like good purpose behind it? If it's yes, that's fine. You spend time with it. Otherwise, there's no need to waste your time about it. And many of the things that in the Quran, some people asking about something, it's not important. Nowadays, still now, even after Allah told them, Ar-Ruh min amri Rabbi, the spirit, it's by the command of Allah, still people asking, what is Ruh? Till today. That answer is not suffice for them. Because as if Allah told them, leave this message for Allah. But you will find more than 500 definition for the spirit and what is. I'm not even exaggerating. But what is the point? Allah is telling you, قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. So why even after that, you will spend that time and effort to find out and which one that's the strongest one, what's the other? You don't have any evidence. It's just, exercising your ability of thinking. I found, wallahi, just a few days ago, was somebody, I thought like a joke in the past, but just a few days ago, when I was talking about the ant of Sulaiman, from the Arabic, the word ant as a structure, it's a feminine word. So one of the students asked me, is it female or male? Oh yeah, come on. Is that ant mentioned in Quran with the story of Sulaiman? Is it male or female? Okay. We'll get to know, okay, so what's the point behind? This is very important, like when you ask yourself, why we need that discussion. So going back to the ayah, وَقُلْنَا يَا آدَمُ اسْكُنْ أَنْتَ وَزَوْجُكَ الْجَنَّةَ وَكُلَا مِنْهَا رَغَدًا حَيْثُ شِئْتُمَا وَلَا تَقْرَبَا هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. ليعلم آدم وبنو آدم أن لك الحرية إلا أن حريتك مقيدة غير مطلقة. سبحان الله. كل شيء إلا هذا الأمر لتعلم أنك تسير بأمر الله سبحانه وتعالى. ففعلك بأمر الله سبحانه وتعالى وتركك بأمر الله سبحانه وتعالى، وتؤجر على هذا وهذا. فما أباح الله لك وتأكله على سبيل الإباحة والجواز تؤجر عليه، وما تتركه لله سبحانه وتعالى على سبيل المنع والترك تؤجر عليه. فأنت تسير في هذه الحياة بأمر الله. لا تجمعنا هناك للحرية المطلقة، وإلا لكانت فوضى. لذلك الحرية مقيدة بالشرع وبالأخلاق، بالشرع وبما تستقيم به الفطر، وإلا كان الأمر فوضى. Allah, from the first day, He's telling Adam, you are free. However, your freedom is limited. So, people discussing that freedom is absolute or limited. There's nothing like absolute in this. No. Even that, you are allowed to eat from all trees except one. It's countless trees, but still, there's one you're not allowed to eat from it. You have to know that you are limited in your actions. So your freedom is limited by the command of Allah, by the Shara, and by the high moral. Is anything against both that you should not do. And now you do and you don't. And what you do and what is permissible, way more what you should not. The restrictions are limited. The conditions are limited. And that's why you find the Quran, most of the time in the Quran, حُرِّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ حُرِّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ. It was forbidden for you. Why? It's easier to count what is forbidden than what is not. Because the rest are permissible. So Allah is from the first day telling Adam, you are free. However, your freedom is limited. And you know what? If people understand this point, they will have no issues. But most of the problems nowadays, because people they think they are free with no limit. That's a problem. I'm free to do that. I'm free to do this. There's no consideration for the public freedom. There's no consideration for the high moral. There's no consideration for what the religion thought. If you are neglecting that, those are monitoring our movement and our actions, then we'll live in a jungle. And not even a jungle. Maybe the jungle has more rules than our life. Sometimes we accuse animals and say, oh, they live like animals. But there's no third gender in animals. There's no, those corruption and problems isn't there. If the lion is full and he's not hungry, he's not going to attack the deer, even the deer pass in front of him. People killing for no point, for no reason. Subhanallah. So we're accusing sometimes animals when they said, oh, they live like animals. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, بل أضل, but even worse. Like animals, no, but even, they are worse. So a human, when they made corruption, they will even be not like animals, but worse than the animal. May Allah protect us all. So again, you are free, however, your freedom is limited. And what's making the limitation of that is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا تَقْرَبَ هَذِهِ الشَّجَرَةَ فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best of understanding, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our iman. Ameen. Allahumma حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من عبادك الراشدين. آمين.